The conflict ignites with a brutal terrorist attack in Pahalgam's Baisaran Valley, a picturesque tourist destination. Militants from the Resistance Front, TRF, target Hindu pilgrims and tourists, killing 27 people, 25 Hindu tourists, 1 Christian tourist and 1 local Muslim, and injuring over 20. The attackers' focus on Hindu men fuels communal outrage in India. India accuses Pakistan of sponsoring the attack, linking TRF to groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba. Pakistan denies involvement, condemns the attack, and calls for an independent international investigation, which India dismisses. In India, the attack sparks fury, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, government under pressure to retaliate. Social media amplifies calls for action, with hashtags like #IndiaStrikesBack trending. In Pakistan, officials express sympathy but reject India's accusations, citing their own fight against militancy. Posts on X reflect polarized sentiments, with some Pakistani users framing India's response as an overreaction. April 23, 2025, India suspends the Indus Waters Treaty, a cornerstone of bilateral cooperation, accusing Pakistan of violating its spirit through terrorism. India expels Pakistani diplomats, recalls its own, halts visa services and closes borders. Pakistan retaliates by suspending visas, closing airspace to Indian flights, cutting trade, and withdrawing from the Simla Agreement. The Atari Wagah border ceremony, a daily symbol of rivalry, omits the handshake. April 24 to 27, 2025, skirmishes erupt along the Low Sea in Kupwara, Poonch and Rajouri. India claims to inflict heavy casualties on Pakistani posts in response to unprovoked firing, while Pakistan denies initiating attacks, reporting civilian evacuations in Muzaffarabad. Unverified reports emerge of India releasing water from the Uri Dam, flooding Pakistan's Jhelum River, and reducing Chenab River flows to Sialkot. India denies these allegations, but tensions soar. April 25 to 28, 2025, Iran, Russia, the UK and the US issue travel advisories for Kashmir and Pakistan. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi urges dialogue, as do Bangladesh and the UAE. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif warns of an Indian incursion, stating Pakistan's nuclear arsenal is a last resort. Pakistan briefs allies including China and Saudi Arabia. April 29 to 30, 2025. Clashes spill to the international border in Jammu's Akhnur and Pargwal sectors, a rare escalation beyond the LOC. India's Border Security Force reports repelling Pakistani fire. Modi grants the military full operational freedom, alarming Pakistan. Hotline talks between the Directors General of Military Operations fail to de-escalate. May 3, 2025. India captures a Pakistan Rangers soldier crossing the international border, escalating tensions. Pakistan demands his release, calling it an accidental crossing. May 5, 2025. India's Ministry of Home Affairs orders civil defense drills in 7 states on May 7, including air raid sirens and blackouts, signaling war preparedness not seen since 1971. Pakistan responds with similar drills in border areas. May 7, 2025, Operation Sindoor. India launches Operation Sindoor, striking 9 targets in Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir, including Kotli, Muzaffarabad, Bagh, Muridka, and Bahawalpur. India claims to have destroyed terrorist infrastructure, killing over 100 militants, including Jaish-e-Mohammed's headquarters in Bahawalpur. The Indian Air Force uses precision strikes from its airspace to avoid escalation. Air Marshal A.K. Bharti displays before and after images of the targets. Pakistan reports 31 civilian deaths, including 2 children, alleging strikes on mosques and homes. Pakistan claims to have downed 5 Indian jets, including 3 Rafales, though a U.S. official confirms only 1 jet loss. India remains silent on losses. Misinformation spreads, with Indian media falsely claiming control of Islamabad. Pakistan vows retaliation. May 8, 2025. Pakistan launches Operation Bunyan al-Marsis, targeting Indian airbases in Udhampur and Pathankot and a missile storage site. Pakistan claims 40 to 50 Indian troop deaths and the destruction of 29 Indian drones. India denies these figures but confirms 16 civilian deaths from Pakistani shelling. Both sides deploy kamikaze drones, with India destroying a Pakistani air defense system. Explosions rock Srinagar, Jammu, Firozpur, and Amritsar. India claims to have intercepted Pakistani drones, while Pakistan denies launching them. Blackouts are enforced in India's Punjab, Rajasthan, and border areas. In Pakistan-administered Kashmir, 5 civilians, including an infant, die in Indian shelling, with 510 evacuated. Pakistan's Prime Minister Anwarul Haq accuses India of pushing for full-scale war. In India, evacuations along the line of control intensify, with residents like Atta Mohammed expressing despair. Let both countries go nuclear and end this. May 9, 2025. An alleged Indian drone crashes in Rawalpindi, injuring a civilian. Pakistan's military and public demand a strong response, with protests in Rawalpindi chanting, "War until Kashmir is freed." India accuses Pakistan of civilian attacks, while Pakistan claims 11 of its airbases, including Nur Khan and Sargodha, were damaged by India. International mediators, including Saudi Arabia and Iran, urge restraint. May 10, 2025, ceasefire announcement. At 5 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time, India and Pakistan agree to a full and immediate ceasefire, halting all land, air, and sea military actions. U.S. President Donald Trump announces the truce on Truth Social, crediting U.S. mediation involving Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Vice President J.D. Vance. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri confirms the agreement, noting Pakistan's Director General of Military Operations contacted India's Director General of Military Operations at 3:35 p.m. to finalize terms. Pakistan's Federal Information Minister Atullah Tarar affirms Pakistan's commitment to peace without compromising sovereignty. The ceasefire follows 4 days of intense fighting, the worst since 1999, with nearly 70 deaths reported, though figures are disputed. The United Nations, European Union and Pope Leo XIV welcome the truce, urging lasting peace. Trump offers further mediation, suggesting talks on Kashmir's thousand-year dispute. Hours later, violations occur. At 8 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time, explosions rock Srinagar, with air defense units engaging drones. Omar Abdullah, Jammu and Kashmir's chief minister, posts on X, "What the hell just happened to the ceasefire?" Pakistan is accused of artillery shelling in Akhnur, Rajouri, RS Pura, and Palanwala, and launching drones over Jammu, Srinagar, and Rajasthan's Barmer. India's Misri condemns Pakistan's breach of mutual understanding, warning of a tough response. Pakistan denies violations, blaming India. Blackouts are enforced in Barmer and Jaisalmer. May 11, 2025, fragile ceasefire and Pakistan's victory claim. By dawn, fighting subsides and the ceasefire holds tentatively. Power is restored in most Indian border areas and Punjab cancels blackout orders in Sangrur, Rupnagar, and Jalandhar. No overnight violations are reported in Poonch, Akhnur, or Jammu City. Amritsar's deputy commissioner reports normalcy, with markets open. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif declares victory in a media briefing, claiming Pakistan prevented India from dragging us into war and secured international support for an independent investigation into the Pahalgam attack. Sharif argues the ceasefire reflects Pakistan's resilience, as it ended the war without losing much. He expresses hope that the international community will address the Indus Waters Treaty's suspension. Posts on X echo this sentiment, with Pakistani users like @maybe_guff noting that locals see it as a win, given Pakistan's avoidance of full-scale conflict amid domestic challenges. Indian users like @Funmauji express frustration, feeling India's Operation Sindoor fell short of decisive victory despite destroying terror camps and airbases. India rejects Pakistan's narrative. At a 6:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time press briefing, India's DGMOs from the Army, Navy and Air Force, led by General Upendra Dwivedi, assert that Operation Sindoor crippled Pakistan's terror infrastructure, with the Bahawalpur strike as a turning point. They display evidence of destroyed targets and warn, if Pakistan retaliates, they know what we will do. Vice Admiral A.N. Pramod emphasizes readiness for any violation. India announces plans to send a team to the UN Security Council with evidence of Pakistan's complicity in terrorism. The Indian Ministry of Defense denies damaging mosques, countering Pakistan's claims. Prime Minister Modi meets Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval to review the situation. The Border Security Force foils a drone-based smuggling bid in Amritsar, and the Indian Air Force confirms all pilots are safely home. Civilian tolls remain disputed. Pakistan reports 36 deaths, including 31 from Indian strikes, while India claims 100 terrorists and 16 civilian deaths from Pakistani fire. Evacuations continue, with villagers along the line of control like those in Kotmira reporting damaged homes. The Indian Premier League, suspended on May 9th, plans to resume next week. The 2025 India-Pakistan conflict, spanning April 22nd to May 11th, lasts under 100 hours of active combat but leaves deep scars. Pakistan's claim of victory, rooted in avoiding all-out war and gaining international sympathy, contrasts with India's assertion of a strategic win through Operation Sindoor. The ceasefire remains fragile, with no formal peace talks scheduled beyond a planned DGMO-level discussion on May 12th. The Indus Waters Treaty's suspension and severed diplomatic ties signal a long road to reconciliation. Kashmir persists as the core issue, with civilians on both sides, evacuated, grieving, or fearful, bearing the brunt. International mediation, led by the US, Saudi Arabia, and others, prevents nuclear escalation, but analysts warn of future flashpoints. Bollywood stars like Raveena Tandon welcome the ceasefire but caution against state-sponsored terrorism. Reflecting India's hardline stance, Rahul Gandhi calls for a special parliamentary session to discuss Operation Sindoor, while Pakistan's airspace restrictions and India's airport closures ease. The conflict's technological shift, drones, missiles, and information warfare, underscores the evolving nature of India-Pakistan rivalry. As a Kotmira villager laments, "Our homes are rubble, and peace is a dream." Without addressing Kashmir's root causes, the cycle of violence looms large.